And welcome back. In this video tutorial, we're going to show you how to use a template when you're designing your smartboard pages. Now, a template is simply the ability to create a common theme that will carry through either all or some of the pages of your smartboard. A template doesn't actually display itself as a page, but can be used as a widget. It becomes a widget that can be applied to other pages, and this allows you to quickly carry forward a common theme from one page to the next. We'll show you what we mean. So the first thing we're going to do is in the upper left-hand corner of our screen, we're going to click the Add Template button, not the Add Screen button, but the Add Template button, and that puts us into template mode. Now in the template, the first thing it's going to do is ask us for a name. So I'm going to call this the idle mode template. And we'll name that. And then we're going to begin working on it. Now you work on the template page just the exact same way you would a normal page. Just remember that this is a template that will ultimately be able to be applied to other pages. So what you're really wanting to do is leave room for content and just carry forward certain themes that you want to appear on all the pages of your smartboard. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a panel widget. And within that panel widget, I'm going to select an image, a background image that I've already had designed and had created. It's a basic background image. These are available to you as well. That just gives us certain graphical elements that I can then use in my theme. So I can create it from scratch too, by the way, just using panels within the panel widgets within the Smartboard Design Studio. But in this case, I'm going to take this design I already had, a background image, and I'm going to choose this particular one, and that becomes the element, the background panel on which all of my other elements for my smartboard pages will appear. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another widget, a text widget, and I'm going to put it in the upper left-hand corner here. And within that text widget, I'm going to put a placeholder for the Station Smartboard title. That will come from the server, and that's what the was chosen as the smartboard title in the server itself. So you can see that the content there from the server was Mooresville Station 3. We're going to increase the font size on that a bit. Let's make it a little bit smaller. There we go. And I'm going to make that a wrap text so that I can use a little bit more text on it. And I'm going to resize it and get it in the place that I want it for my design. I'm going to decrease the size just a little bit more as well. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more panel widget. And in this one, I'm going to say use station logo. And I'm going to resize that logo so it's fairly small and put it up here on this right next to my text panel of the name of the station. Then in the center black area where I've left room for a clock there on purpose. So I'm going to add a widget. I'm going to put a text widget there, resize it. And within that text widget, I'm going to put a placeholder for the current time. Then I'm going to choose the font size. We'll put that at about 48, about 54, there we go. And the font family, I'm going to use, we'll just use the alarm clock font. That looks a little bit like a digital clock. We're going to change the color of that to, let's make it red. So now we have a background that has our station smartboard title, our logo, and a clock. and I can leave myself room for other elements that I might want to put on the background as well. But I'm going to save this template now, and I'm going to keep that template, and then I'm going to be able to apply it to other pages. Let me show you how that works. So now I'm going to go up and I'm going to start working on designing screen number 1. And the very first thing I'm going to do on that screen is add a template widget. So I hit my add widget button, and then I come over here and I choose template from the menu. And then when I do that, it's going to ask me, it's going to allow me to select which template I want to use. And you can have multiple templates. You could have a template for idle mode. You could have a template for alert mode. You could have a separate template for messages from the chief, things like that. Just templates that you can reuse over and over again in your page design. I'm going to choose for my template, and obviously the only one I have is my idle mode template. So I'll select that. And you can see that that template has now appeared, and I can expand it to the size of my full screen. I'm just going to bump it out to the size of my full screen. And now I've got that design for my page. I can put elements of other design on here. I can add other widgets on top of that. For instance, put a map, maybe add a second map if I wanted to. I could have multiple maps on here. And then when I add the next screen, so now I'm adding a second screen, again, I can use that same template by applying it and making it full size in the background. And it doesn't have to be full size. You can have a template that only covers a smaller portion of the screen. In this case, I designed a full size, full screen template. And so that's what I'm using here. So you can see how that allows me to have multiple screens that use the same general theme across those screens simply by using the template feature and allowing me to apply that template to my new screens. So that's how you use the template in the Designer Studio for your smartboard.